Brian earned an associate degree from Penn State Altoona and his bachelor's degree from Penn State Behrend. He also went on to earn an MBA from Gannon University. Brian began his career as a design engineer at Trucklight Company directly after graduating from Penn State, and today he is Chief Executive Officer. Trucklight does much more than the name would imply and is a market leader in truck and trailer safety lighting. The company has introduced more than 250 innovations to the world since 1955. Beyond his professional achievements, one nominator said, Brian's character can best be defined by the words commitment, loyalty, and generosity. He has initiated and led efforts for the growth and betterment of the communities in which he lives and works. Penn State has been fortunate to have Brian's continued involvement in our university, and tonight it gives me great pleasure to recognize Brian Kupchella with the Alumni Fellow Award.
Well, there's been some great stories tonight, so I have to be honest. I was a young engineer, about 29 years old, and the business was purchased by Penske Corporation. And Roger Penske, you may know him, he's a successful race car driver, entrepreneur. And he called me into his office, and he said, we need to name a new president of the company. And he said, we're going to name you the president of the company. And I said, well, Roger, I don't know if I really want to do that. So he walked around his desk, and he poked me in the chest. He said, it's yours to run. If you screw it up, I'll come looking for you. That's how I got to where I am today. I wasn't familiar with the award either, in all honesty. And I got a call from Chancellor Ford from Behrend campus. I was on a golf trip with my brother, and he explained the presentation to me, the award. And I thanked him very much, and I got off the phone. And on the second hole, my brother said, what was the name of that award again? So I explained it to him. He said, you better look that up. So I Googled it also. And after I read to him what the award was, he stopped the golf cart and said, you need to call him back. So we did and got a clear explanation of the award, so thank you. So let me say thank you, first of all, to President Behrend for the honor of receiving this award tonight. And I'd also like to thank Chancellor Ford from Penn State Behrend for nominating me for the award this evening. And it's quite an honor. I did graduate from Behrend campus. I was the second graduating class in the plastics program. There are roughly 13 of us, and I think we're graduating over 60 to 70 students a year today. So it's really grown. I'm quite impressed with the work that they've done. I'm also very, very honored and very humbled to be amongst this group of recipients this evening. I think we listen to their stories. It's very, very impressive. And it's hard, to stand up here and accept this award because I'm a firm believer, in that you're only as good as the people around you, and that obviously starts with family. And I'm blessed to have my wife here with me tonight and my two boys. Somebody once told me if you're an engineer, you have to pass on an engineer, at least one. So I'm proud to say that I've done that. My son Nathan is graduating from Behrend as a plastics engineer, so I've done my work. And second, I think you've got to be surrounded by, strong, talented individuals, both at work and in your personal life. And a lot of the credit and the success that I've had comes from my colleagues at work and the work that they've done around the world to help me be successful. But there were a few individuals throughout my career that would say a few things to me that really helped, I think, build my character as a manager. One boss said to me one time, you only receive the authority that you take. And his point to me was, you need to step up, you need to take charge. Don't be afraid to take charge and grow. Be a leader, not only in your working career, but in your personal life. Another individual said to me, big eyes and big ears. Listen to your team, observe what your team is saying to you. He never said keep your mouth shut, but I think that was sort of the point, but observe and listen to what your team needs. Another individual said to me, as a good manager, you need to be the water boy. You've got to figure out what your team needs. You've got to carry the water, get your team what they need to be successful. If you've ever studied historical warfare, in the trenches they had water boys, but they also had the boys that carried the buckets for the guys that drank too much water. And I quickly learned that sometimes you carry the water and sometimes you carry the other bucket. It's about 50-50, but you can't be afraid to do either. Another gentleman once said to me, remember the 3 C's: communicate, communicate, communicate. And that's so important, not only in your working environment and your job, but I think also in your personal lives. I think we all know the benefit of good communication, both at work and at home. And finally, Roger Penske will always say, effort equals results. And we talked about that a little bit tonight. You know, if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to work with your team, if you're going to give them what they need to be successful, do it every day and do it with a passion every day. Effort equals results, and that's why I'm here today. So once again, thank you very much. Thanks, President Behrend. Thanks, Chancellor Ford, for the nomination. Have a good evening.